Hey, it's Natalie with the Think Yourself Academy. I can't really remember what I did this weekend, but I can remember exactly what my husband was wearing when we met 20 years ago. Why is that? Or I know the phone number still of 20 of my high school friends from 30 years ago, and they have changed their number for sure. And yet, sometimes I can't remember why I opened the fridge door. And I can't remember. This is so bizarre. Like the brain plays tricks on us. Or you're at work, or I'm in front of my computer. I'm trying to concentrate and focus on the task that's in front of me. I'm trying to write down a newsletter or something. And I have this song in my head, and all I'm doing in my head is I do my hair toss, check my nails, and I'm singing this Lizzo song, and I can't take it off of my head, and I can't concentrate because all I'm doing is singing. I do my hair toss, check my nails, and I'm like, oh, can this song go away? Right? You can't seem to be able to dislodge that song from your head. It's crazy, right? What about when you are trying to find something that you can't find? Like this woman, her name starts with a B, and it's Brenda, Betty, Bonnie, and then you have it. It's right there, and then it's on the tip of your tongue, and you try to get that name, and it just won't come out. The brain is fascinating. So they have studied people with amazing memories. And I'm talking about mental athletes. There's such a thing as mental games, like Olympics, and there's people that are super, super smart that we think so, and they win these games. So they are showed images of people, given a name for each of these people, and they have to remember all the names, and then after they have to have memorized that, they are given like 2 minutes to do all this, or a shuffled deck of cards. They have to memorize the order in 50 seconds or something. And anyway, it's a thing. It exists. Like there is such a thing as mental memory games, and they studied the brains of these people that are going into these tournaments that actually win these games. And it turns out, what is the news that I'm going to tell you? It turns out that they are average Joes. Their brain is not any different than your brain, and that's my brain. This is a great news, because that means that the brain that we have, the brain that I have in my head, is perfectly capable of doing everything that these guys are doing. This is amazing. It just takes for us to exercise our brain a little bit and be able to tap into the power of what this function has to offer us. It's to tap into the potential that we all have, because we're all average Joes, and that's totally fine. When we use a part of our brain more, the brain, that neuroplasticity of the brain has the capability to reorganize itself in order to connect areas more and to find space for areas that we're using the most. Like when we are born, we have, I think we have over a quadrillion of potential connection in our brain. And as we age, we go down to 7,000 billion connections. So we need to continue to make these connections, especially as children, so that as we continue to make connections, as we're using our brain, the brain will reorganize itself to create space for all these connections to happen. It is fascinating, everything that the brain can do. So it's just a matter of exercising it and realizing the amazing potential that your brain has, and to tap into it. So trust that you can to remember stuff. And it starts with the way you act when you are presented with a notion or with a number or with a name. How many of you have this pre-written sentence in your head that everybody that introduces themselves to you with their name, you answer with, "Oh, nice meeting you, Mary, but I'm very bad with names." So then we write that down on our forehead, "I'm very bad with names." It's like telling your brain, "Please forget that." Instead, what if we say, "Oh, nice meeting you, Mary. I will remember it." You know why? Because I have a brain, and brains are amazing. There's tons of room in there, and I will remember that. And there are lots of different tricks that you can use in order to remember things better by association, for example. So they've proven that if you make an association, if I show you a picture of someone and I say this person is a baker, and then I tell them that their name is, if I tell them that this person is a baker, and then that's the end of the conversation, okay? So you have this piece of information, and then I show you the picture of somebody else, and I say, here's this person, and their name is Wilfred Baker. So it's the same word that you have to remember. You have to remember the last name Baker, or you have to remember this person is a baker. So when they showed the picture back of the person that was a baker, more people could remember that, because when you think that person is a baker, you imagine them with an apron and a rolling pin and a chef hat maybe. So there's lots of association that you make in your head. So when you will see this picture again and somebody asks you what is their profession, you'll say, that person is a baker, because you've imagined them with a context. If I show you the picture of that other person that says this person has a name, what is their last name? Less people would remember that their last name was Baker, because it's just the last name and it was not put in context with a profession. So try to find association when presented some information in order to remember and to track things and to create neurological pathways in your brain and create these connections, these synapses that will get stronger as you try to recall information. But the main message today is we're all average Joes, and it's plenty enough, because the brain is a wonderful thing. So if you want to get smarter, trust your brain and tap into its full power.